flow is also another concept. The maze layout in stores and malls. Have you ever noticed when you walk into a store, the most expensive items, like the most flashy items, are kind of up front towards the middle, and then the clearance items are all the way in the back. That's what I do. I go straight back. I have blinders on, I go all the way to the back. That's me in the stores. And then not only do retail stores do this too, but casinos do as well. I don't know if you've ever been to the boats up north or to Las Vegas, and that noise. We all know the noise of the casino, right? Not only that gets you, but they have the lights. They're always red lights, whether on top of the slot machines themselves or just around in the casino area. And then there's no clock in a casino because you don't know what time it is, you don't know if you're late, you don't know how long you spent there, just keep putting more money in the machine. And also another trick is they have tinted windows, because even though there's no clock, you might be able to look outside the window and tell what time of day it is, kind of like this, you don't know what time of day it is, right? But casinos do the same thing, so you can't, unless you have a clock yourself, you're clueless. And then there are 6 reasons as to why malls have a deeper attraction to consumers. One being the attractiveness of the mall itself. The second one is the sense of escape. The third is the absorption and absence of time. 4 is the ability to find out what's new. 5 is the social environment, and 6 is the desire to explore. And also within the malls, I mentioned a little bit the disorientation. Have you ever, like up in Oak Park Mall, they have, it's huge inside. They have those openings on the floor, and they have hallways you can cross in and out. Sometimes they even have the bathrooms in the most inconvenient spots all the way down the hallway, all by itself, And they try to get you to kind of get you lost in the mall, and so you'll see everything that's in there available. And another idea is that the floors in the mall are like this. They're hard, they're slick, they're not very comfortable, but then like within the stores, they have the plush carpet that just attracts you and you want to go to it. So it makes the customer want to go to the mall instead of being able to go into a store and being at the mall. Another sense that is used is hearing. You guys have heard of music within offices or stores? Well, it was founded by Army General George Dwyer in 1928, and it's actually their specific tracks of music, sort of like Pandora could do for you, but it's for offices or restaurants or stores, and it can actually manipulate people subconsciously to get them to, in a restaurant, like chew faster or slower, or in a store to move faster or slower, and to kind of direct. And it hasn't been as popular lately because consumers are realizing the music and they're realizing the effect it has on them. So they have gone to another step up from that, which is marketainment, which is the use of video screens with the soundtracks. And the only store I could think of off the top of my head that had that was American Eagle. In the back they'll have those screens with the music videos playing. But with the music, it affects over 80 million Americans every day, and then it increases sales by 17% in grocery stores by slowing the customers, and so that, there you go, there's the facts. And then for scent in stores, this is interesting. I know that Bath and Body Works, you walk in there and you're just overwhelmed by all the smells, but stores actually use smell to attract customers. And the Association of Chemoreception Science found that these 3 scents, what they affect. First one is citrus, and it affects arousal. Floral is concentration, and woodland is relaxation. And then casinos, this is interesting. Not only do they attract you with the sounds and the lights and everything, but their scent is plant extracts, animal hormones, and insect venom. And it actually increases slot usage by 45%. I don't know what those smell like, but obviously they work. There are a few men behind the atmospherics and the theories. The first one is Philip Kotler, and he actually coined the term atmospherics. He introduced the idea that physical environment may affect consumers' behavior, and obviously it does. And it is becoming the dominant marketing tool towards consumers, and obviously sparked the investigation of the sense, sounds, and actually created a themed department stores. Within department stores you have all the, bedding and kitchen and clothes, and then he also created like bridal shops. And with that, he wanted to create the Cinderella effect for the new bride to go in there, just be pampered and have the Cinderella dream, and I guess kind of like bridal plasty in a way. Pico Underhill, he used videography to see beyond what retailers could see on how to manipulate the consumers, because he would put video cameras besides just security cameras up in stores to see how the consumers reacted to different things. This is known as passive coercion, which I guess they called something similar to public advocacy work. This was able to apply to commercial environments, which, for example, there were complaints of a drive-through sign when customers weren't able to see the menu when they were ordering their food, because the menu was first and the speaker box was next. So, from this complaint and from seeing this, that they moved the menu up to where now it's conveniently placed by the speaker box. But Pico Underhill also has 3 variables that he reported back to retailers that he found. The first one is the decompression zone, which is that after you're walking in a mall and you go into the store, customers need at least 12 feet after walking into the store to slow down to browsing speed. So in other words, don't place your best new high-end merchandise up front, because consumers will just go right past it. And then the second one is invariant right, and it's most common for customers to enter a store and go to the right. So it also has been found for stores to place their merchandise that they would like to sell first, or most important, on the right side. And the third one is the butt rush, which if particularly women, if they are looking at an item and then someone brushes up against them on the back, just walking by, they will set down the item and they'll walk away. So this has caused stores to widen their aisles, so that person doesn't set down the item. And last, I'm going to talk about the difference between prestige and discount stores. I compare Gordon's to Nordstrom's. You go to someplace like Nordstrom's, multi-level, friendly associates, beautiful decor. They have entertainment up there. They have, restaurants, wide aisles, and people don't really see that when you go into a store like that. You're not only paying for the name brand or the designer clothing. You're also paying for the atmosphere. And then if you go to some place like Gordon's, they're so congested. Like all the clothes are together, and you can never find an associate to help you.